NextLevel, Womanizer. Dedication, thanks to the women for their atmospheric change. Over 100 facts that will turn any man into a womanizer. Men's silence is the #1 reason for separation, but even that is kept quiet. Actually, every woman needs two men, a straight man for the bed and a gay man for the soul. Men have only one chance. They have to become a bit like women have been for a long time. I hope you can enjoy that book the same way I already did. And now let's start the journey into the foreign universe. Enjoy. Forward. Welcome to the world of women. Welcome to a galaxy foreign to men. This is by no means an exaggeration. For many men, women are actually as mysterious as some distant star out there in the universe. With huge telescopes and radio equipment, space explorers try to make contact with the universe. They radio and listen day and night into nowhere. Hello, space. Can anyone hear us there? This is Earth. Come in. Women would certainly appreciate if men also had such telescopes. Huge eavesdroppers with sensitive antennas aimed at the unknown universe called woman. Listen in, listen out, and learn something. In contrast to the efforts of space researchers, this would be crammed with success quite quickly, because while from the universe so far no signals came back, women sent constantly somehow. They even have a rather pronounced need to communicate. But most men, unfortunately, have no antennas, and if they do, they only receive an incomprehensible mix of noises. Babble, babble, scold, criticize, betray, 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 lift, gossip, nag, blaspheme, blaspheme again. That's how it comes across to them. They listen for a while, and then they tune out, or they switch off. What a pity, really. Because the woman is a pretty exciting universe. Multi-layered, contradictory, mysterious, and complex. Influenced by age, all primal instincts and the latest gossip from magazines like the Cosmopolitan and Glamour, shaped by her own father and her very first boyfriend, driven by 1,000 fears and even more longings, guided by maternal feelings and the search for eternal harmony between unfulfilled sexual dreams and this stupid male speechlessness, which we have already talked about, and to that the incessantly ticking biological clock. How women tick. So this is a pretty interesting topic. And it's a logical start before the next book. Germany already knows how men tick. Are men really so simple and so simply structured? They had always suspected it. Now they hear it here in black and white. How women tick is, of course, a book for men. And one thing is for sure, you will learn a lot. Women can be accused of all sorts of things, except being as simple and plain as the men of creation. But what makes women tick can also be useful reading for women, because women will read a lot of things they have always wanted to say. They will recognize themselves no matter whether they are sitting at the checkout in the supermarket, a housewife, or a manager. For good reason, this book had two, namely a man, a woman. In addition to the other two, many other women worked on it in small discussion groups with a few glasses of champagne, which helped them to talk about their feelings in a really relaxed, honest, and unvarnished way, and in various internet forums where they had heated discussions and also didn't mince words. The men asked their questions, and the women answer. Foreign galaxy. Let's start changing that. Chapter 1. The Woman and Getting to Know Her. 1. How can I tell if she is interested in me? Let's start with a surprise. Sometimes women and men are not as different as you think. For example, when meeting for the first time in a pub, bar, or restaurant, men on the lookout, we all know that, are constantly circling their gaze and checking out the woman present. With her, yes. With her, no, she isn't company there. Is out of the question, but the one in the back with her friend at the corner table. This first check is absolutely not a male peculiarity, because women do it in exactly the same way. However, they have different criteria, and they are not as simple as the simple alternative. I'd like to go out with him, and I wouldn't go out with him. women have several questions running through their heads. She is much more differentiated. The questions are: 1. Whether she finds the man interesting. 2. Whether she also finds him erotic. 3. What would be the morning after. 4. Whether she would like to have children with him one day. 5. What he would be like as a father. 6. Whether he might be the Prince Charming. And 7. What bothers her about him: wrong tie, wrong glasses, nose hair, white socks, or similar. A woman can do all this casually in a split second, literally at first glance. If question 1 is answered with yes, you can most likely have a good conversation with her for a while. If question 2 also yields a positive result, you can also flirt with her. So it goes from step to step. By the way, in question 7, the woman is generous and quite willing to compromise. After all, she wants to be able to break him of something later. The man stands shyly and lonely on the other side of the restaurant, the bar, and would like to venture closer. Only he does not dare. If he goes across the store in front of all the other ghosts, bolts to her and gets a basket, it would be as bad for him as a painful kick in the scrotum. He would feel really stupid, sink into the floor in shame, and would prefer to leave immediately without paying. Can't he somehow find out beforehand she is interested in him? He can hear it. We asked women, tell us, when you go and you like a man at first sight, how do you act? How do you show the poor guy that he can come closer? First rule: the smile of a woman is the best indication. It is, so to speak, the ticket for everything that may come. If a woman doesn't look over at all and certainly doesn't smile, the man probably has made it through the first checkout. He failed the lightning test. Of course, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Maybe she has spotted him yet. Okay, she smiled. Now what second rule? Don't get nervous, keep watching, because there are more positive indications. She looks somewhere else, tilts her head a little and plays around with something. For example, she pulls on her. Now let's assume that the man has taken the first hurdle and gets into conversation with her. Of course, he still doesn't know exactly what she thinks of him. How can he find out? It's not that difficult. He just has to watch her eyes. First the woman looks, then she thinks. Therefore, her eyes tell what she is thinking. Her gaze sweeps over the man's hair, onto his hands. Then she looks directly at him, and again her gaze wanders. Very good. Just now she forms an opinion. In any case, she's not disinterested. And when she looks at his lips, that's even a straight. She is thinking, what would it be like to get closer? Or she's even thinking about the first kiss. People always say women are incredibly complicated and so hard to understand. But basically they don't take so difficult. The problem is rather the men who understand little, observe badly, draw the wrong conclusions, and in the end are miffed, although they themselves are to blame. A few more helpful facts on the subject of how can I tell if she's interested in me. Women are constantly sending out signals of some sort when a man is interested in them. Kind of like a lighthouse. Playing pause, playing pause, playing pause. The signal can mean, come on, turn me on. Or I want to get to know you better. The woman wants attention. She wants to be noticed. And for that she comes up with a lot of things. Perhaps she rummages in vain her handbag for a light, or for a handkerchief, or she loses something, or she tips over her glass by accident, or she walks right past his table on her way to the bathroom and plain sends another smile. If you give a woman a light, you can also learn a lot, because when you give fire, she's an open book. There are only two possibilities. The first, she takes a drag on the cigarette, blows the smoke just past you, says in some direction, thank you, that's bad. Not a good signal. The second, she takes a drag on the cigarette, touches you with her hand, quite by accident, looks deeply into your eyes, breathes, thank you, and does not turn away immediately. Very good. This candidate has 100 points. But of course, you won't be able to take this test if you've come across a non-smoker. Maybe what you've read so far sounds like a collection of cliches. True, but these cliches are served every day, thousands of times, in pubs and bars, in the company and at parties. Just as men are dick-driven, women think, sorry, with their ovaries. Women know that perfectly well. It's just that they don't like to talk about it. So all women prefer to go out with their best friend. If you get into a conversation with both of them, you should definitely pay close attention to your girlfriend. The woman on whom one is actually keen, one can leave quietly for a while on the left. It will immediately rumble in her. Why is he flirting with my girlfriend instead of me? What does that stupid cow have that I don't? She will immediately pull out all the stops so that the man ultimately turns to her. She does not do that consciously. She must eliminate the competitor. It is just so inside her. She can't help it. Unfortunately, most men are too dorky to notice the simplest signals. For example, if a woman says, I don't know my way around town at all yet, or I've never been to musical tea, or I love going to the theater, that's already a blatant invitation to immediately make a constructive suggestion for the first date. What more of a challenge does the man need? I hope you enjoyed this first audio sample of the new book by NextLevel Womanizer. If you want to hear the full version with my voice, please let me know. Write me a mail to NextLevel Trading or just buy the book on Amazon. Baby guys, and who knows, maybe even until soon.